Tiny thing that scares me and should scare you too, and it's not a virus. Time for a quick quiz. I'm thinking small. Couple of hints. It's an insect and can cause many deaths, both directly and indirectly. Can you guess what it is? As you're guessing, I'll drop another hint. Many of us have never seen it in nature. Time's up. Now for those who are thinking of mosquito, well, it's not correct, but that is a bloody good guess. Mosquito would be on my top 5 list. I'm scared of spiders, I'm petrified of cockroaches, but neither should scare a normal person. No, today, I'm talking about something that is truly scary. I present to you Cystosarca gregaria. Or those uneducated in the fine language Latin, it is desert locust. These tiny insects, when fully grown, can be up to 3 inches and weigh a little less than 2 grams. I put more sugar in my tea than that. So, what is so scary about them? Well, 3 fascinating facts about this desert locust. Well, number 1, a locust can eat its own weight in fresh food every day. Now, let that sink in for a moment. According to research, on average, we consume between 1 kilo to 2 kilo food every day. It's even lower in my case, I'm skinny. Even if I say 1 kilo for me, that's around only 1.7% of my weight. So yes, each locust eats 2 grams of plant every day. Big whoop-de-doo, right? Fine, next fact. They can travel over 81 miles or 130 kilometers or more a day. Yes, I find that fascinating. And finally, fact 3. They're really a friendly bunch. They travel together in a swarm. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start with some general knowledge. Locusts are a collection of certain species of short-horned grasshoppers in the family Archaeididea that have a swarming phase. These insects are normally innocuous, their numbers are low, and they do not pose a major economic threat to agriculture. However, under suitable condition of drought followed by rapid vegetation growth, serotonin in their brains triggers a dramatic set of changes. They start to breed abundantly, become gregarious and nomadic, loosely described as migratory. When their population becomes dense enough, they form bands of wingless nymphs, which later becomes swarm of winged adults. The group we are talking about, the desert locust, is a notorious species. Found in Africa, the Middle East, the Asia, this species inhabits an area about 6 million square miles or 30 countries during a quiet period. During a plague, when large swarms descend upon a region, however, this locust can spread out across some 60 countries and cover a fifth of Earth's land surface. Remember that swarm we're talking about? Well, a desert locust swarm can be 460 square miles in size and pack between 40 and 80 million locusts in less than half a square mile. That tiny 2 gram per locust? Well, a swarm of such size would eat 423 million pounds of plants every day. To put it into context, a swarm the size of Paris can eat the same amount of food in one day as half the population of France. Desert locust plague threatens the economic livelihood of a tenth of humans. Simply put, we don't have enough food produced in the world to feed every single one of us. When science tried to introduce genetically modified food, we have a bunch of rich hippies protesting it. I'm sorry, it just annoys me to see people without worry of having a roof or food decides to voice for the hungry. Anyway, as most of us don't produce our own food, like it or not, this affects us all. Unless of course one is super rich and living in some beautiful island with palm trees. Yes, I do want to be one of them. Mid-May this year, in Bolotana, a small town in the central Sardinia, 200 farms have been hit by a swarm of Moroccan locusts that have been devastating the Tirso Valley since April. These insects have destroyed fields, pastures, grasslands, and invaded houses and gardens. Swarms of the same species had already caused damage in summer 2019 in an area of about 2,000 hectare acres. In June, the most serious desert locust outbreak in 70 years, could leave nearly 5 million people in East Africa facing starvation, according to the International Rescue Committee (IRC). It comes as many of the countries in the region are already struggling to manage food insecurity caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Sudan are amongst the worst hit countries, and the outbreak threatens to spread wider, the IRC says. Today, 27th of June, swarms of crop-destroying desert locusts have reached the outskirts of Delhi after entering Gurugram this morning. Multiple videos shot by residents of Gurugram cities and villages in the district this morning show massive clusters of locusts flying in. So what can we do? And what have we been doing for thousands of years? Plagues of locusts have devastated societies since the pharaohs led ancient Egypt, and they still wreak havoc today. Historically, people could do little to protect their crops from being devastated by locusts, although eating the insects may have been some consolation as they are edible. By the early 20th century, efforts were made to disrupt the development of the insects by cultivating the soils where eggs were laid, collecting hoppers with catching machines, killing them with flamethrowers, trapping them in ditches, and crushing them with rollers and other mechanical methods. By the 1950s, the organochloride dieldrin was found to be an extremely effective insecticide, but it was later banned from use in most countries because of its persistence in the environment and its bioaccumulation in the food chain. There are many reasons why it's difficult to control or prevent a plague of locusts, including the remoteness and breadth of the areas across which they are spread and limited resources in some of the affected countries. But experts look at past weather patterns and historical records to identify the areas where swarms might occur and spray those areas with chemicals. Some worry the locust plagues will worsen in a warming world. Rising sea temperatures are causing prolonged bouts of wet weather, including a surge of rare cyclones in eastern Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, where desert locusts thrive. Time for me to play that "We're All Gonna Die"?
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of roses, ashes, we all fall down.
So, are you scared as well? This is going to be the worst segue ever. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Being a new channel, subscribe count is vital, even to have a proper URL. So I would implore you to please subscribe. Now, I cannot possibly think any reason for anyone to dislike this video. Oh wait, I did take a side on GM food. Whoops. So, if you disliked that comment, well, it's in your complete right to thumbs down and to let me know why down in the comments below. GM food can feed millions of people and I can debate anyone on that. Well, that's it. Have a safe day. Signing off.